devastated when my low-risk pregnancy quickly morphed into high-risk pregnancy in the last trimester. Why wasn't Sarah prepared for the possibility of developing complications? Had she been led to believe that her birth would and should be simple, easy, and safe? And when things didn't go according to plan, why was that cause for devastation? These are the questions that I wrestle with every day. What is leading women to have unrealistic expectations of what the birth process really is? Childbirth Without Fear is the book that started it all. Written by Grantley Dick Reed in 1942, this text is widely viewed as the foundational document of the natural childbirth movement. An international bestseller, the book and its message have been embraced by subsequent generations of women. Most of today's proponents of the natural birth ideas set forth in this pre-World War II book aren't aware that its author, while an obstetrician, was also a religious evangelical who believed in the spiritual significance of motherhood. According to Dick Reed, childbirth revealed God's presence. He was also a eugenicist whose philosophies about race and gender had a profound impact on his medical practice and would be viewed today as backward at best. Obsessed with the notion that white women of the better classes were ignoring their duty to reproduce in favor of pursuing political and economic equality, Grantley Dick Reed feared a decline in the white birth rate. Women must be socialized to return to the home, he insisted, or the white race risked race suicide. He wrote, "Woman fails when she ceases to desire the children for which she was primarily made. Her true emancipation lies in freedom to fulfill her biological purposes." Part of the problem with the declining birth rate of white babies, Dick Reed felt, was that women curtailed their childbearing due to fear of labor pain. Unlike their primitive, read black, sisters, who were described by other eugenicists as hypersexual and had easy, painless labor, over-civilized white women had shriveled ovaries, suffered from hysteria, a malady originating in the uterus, hyster is Latin for uterus, and had painful labors. White women, he wrote, had been socialized to give birth in pain through the fear-tension-pain cycle. Labor, he believed, is not intrinsically painful. Women experience pain in labor only because they had been taught to anticipate and fear pain. The fear led them to tightening up, tension, and the tension caused the pain. In other words, the pain felt during labor was not real physical pain, but was imagined. And therefore, women could also be socialized to give birth without pain. This is the purported science that Dick Reed cited for his theories. But his fear-tension-pain cycle was fabricated. As we will see, labor is intrinsically painful for the exact same reasons that passing a kidney stone is intrinsically painful. In the Dick Reed School of Natural Childbirth, labor pain served a dual purpose. It was punishment for women who had dared to become over-civilized, and glaring evidence that women had veered from their true purpose, that of motherhood. This view reflected the anxieties of social Darwinists and eugenicists as women sought to take their place in the larger society with equal rights, such as the right to vote. Victorian and Edwardian physicians and scientists strongly believed that there were fundamental differences between the sexes and the races that led to the ultimate superiority of the white male. According to Dick Reed, the mother is the factory, and by education and care, she can be made more efficient in the art of motherhood. A woman's body as a factory? Is this the Old Testament? It is hard to believe that this book launched and remains the Bible for the contemporary natural childbirth movement, a movement now comprised largely of educated women who consider themselves both liberated